terrorists may attack us, but the intellectual authors of those crimes will then often sit back and watch as governments peel away at the human rights protections, watch as our societies gradually unravel, with many setting course toward authoritarianism and oppression, staging for us not a century of achievement and pride, but a century that is small, bitter, and deprived for the vast majority of humans. Because Myanmar has refused access to human rights investigators, the current situation cannot yet be fully assessed, but the situation remains or seems a textbook example of ethnic cleansing. Venezuela is a member of this council and as such has a particular duty, and I quote, to uphold the highest standards in the promotion and protection of human rights, end quote, in the words of Resolution 60/251. My investigation suggests the possibility that crimes against humanity may have been committed, which can only be confirmed by a subsequent criminal investigation. And while I support the concept of a National Truth and Reconciliation Commission, the current mechanism is inadequate. I therefore urge that it be reconfigured with the support and involvement of the international community. The conflict in Syria has redefined the meaning of the word horror. The continuation of this nightmare will forever darken the legacy of this generation of world leaders. All parties to the conflict continue to engage in action involving grave impact on civilians. My office has documented hundreds of airstrikes and ground-based strikes in 2017, which have killed thousands of civilians from across the country, at least a quarter of them children. The suffering of the Yemeni people is now compounded by the grave epidemic of cholera, which is a direct result of indiscriminate attacks by parties to the conflict on medical centers and other protected objects, as well as sieges, blockades, and restrictions on movement. We continue to receive numerous reports of arbitrary or illegal detention, enforced disappearances, and torture and ill treatment by both sides to the conflict. The devastation of Yemen and the horrific suffering of its people will have immense and enduring repercussions across the region.